Alright, I'm just gonna get it out of the way, man. Has anyone read the book The Alchemist? Alright. I feel like I mentioned it before. I don't know if I mentioned it here. But it's been written and never scratched. So I'm just gonna do this video and I'm gonna call it The Alchemist. The concept of that book is the guy who basically made something from nothing. Made something from everything, who basically was able to combine whatever that exists around them and from it make a dust storm, from it create gold, from it find treasure, find his love, find his purpose, his passion, all that stuff. It's a story about how when you stop kind of like resisting, right? Resisting is a good response, it's a good responsive thing to actually use because ultimately most of the time we don't really like approach the ideas that we have in our heads. We just kind of like give ourselves different excuses and just like not necessarily go in the directions that we want. For some reason, my head is kind of like, I think opening the subject made me stand up straight or something, and then my head started kind of like giving me a bit of a. But in The Alchemist, short version of the story is guy gets a dream while sleeping under a tree with his herd of fucking sheep. Their dream says, go to Mecca in the fucking desert, go there, there's a treasure over there. And he stands up, he sells his sheep, he takes all the money, and he goes and he's traveling to the desert. While he's going there, he goes to Morocco, from Spain to Morocco. When he reaches Morocco, he gets duped and his money's stolen. His first reaction is, fuck this, I'm going back home. Going back to his comfort place, to where he was like, okay, doing well, all is good, but it's not his dream, doing well. And then after that, he just like feeling depressed and everything. He goes and he sits at the top of the hill where there's a small shop and a guy sitting there drinking tea. And he looks at the guy. He goes like, "Are you the owner?" The guy says, "Yes." He starts complaining. The owner starts telling him about his dream. He starts telling him about their dream, and that's a pivotal moment because like he tells them, "I had a dream to go to Mecca and actually like find treasure." And the owner looks at him and goes like, "Huh? I have the same dream. I just want to go there as a pilgrimage, right?" So the actual So both of them agree that they're going in the same location, and from there they talk a bit. And then the guy looks at him. He goes like, "All right, let me work here, and when I make some money, at least I'll be able to go back home, and I'll help you with the place, and I'll find a way to kind of like make you money and all that shit, and I'll pay for myself. Don't worry about it. If I don't bring more people, and you can't afford me, I won't." So he hustled the deal for himself. But that's the fun part because the owner goes like, "Sure, as long as you don't disturb me. Listen to this, as long as you don't disturb me." So the owner goes and sits and does jack shit the same way he always did. But the kid is motivated. Why? Because now he has an opportunity to make the money he lost back and he wants to basically go home. He doesn't like that place, he wants to fuck off. And week after week, day after day, month after month, he just keeps getting ideas. And it's like, what about if we do this? And the owner goes like, as long as it doesn't bother me, do it. And the guy goes and does it. And eventually, basically, they have to hire more people because the idea works. More people start coming up to actually see that place that does this and this and this. I think one of the major ideas was them actually having crystal glasses so that people felt fancy just looking at the city from like the top of the hill. And ultimately, like the tea shop expanded and expanded, and the owner basically, in his frustration, like always had to hire new people and always more work. Kind of lost his peace because that's all he did over there was sit, chill, and enjoy the world. And now, because that fucker came, the ambitious dude, he basically stirred everything up in a certain direction. And then over there, after 1 year, they sit with each other next to each other, and both of them kind of like look at each other fully satisfied. The young kid has made double the amount of money that was stolen from him when he came, and the owner basically is right now having like a legitimate business with like employees, and everything is moving without him actually being involved. And there was a pivoting thing for me, specifically for me, like in that there was an engagement at that point in time because they're sitting with each other and they're reflecting on the first time they had this conversation about a year before that. And then the kid looks at him and goes like, at first, my decision was to kind of like save money and go back home. Now I want to continue on my journey since I have money and I can afford to lose it. So he looks at the guy and he's like, let's go to Mecca. Your dream is to go there. My dream told me to go there. Your dream is to go there. Let's fucking do it. And I think that's something like I just said it. My dream told me to go there. My dream told me to go there. While the other guy's dream is to go there. Dream is to go there. All right. So, oof, there's a big difference, but I'll talk about it some other time if you guys want, or if we have more time. But so he looks at the guy, and the guy looks at him, and the older gentleman who owns the place looks at him and goes like, "Listen, man, when you first came here, you were down on your luck. We shared something in common. I loved it. I gave you a chance. You succeeded. I gave you my place. You succeeded in making it more and bigger, adding more weight and responsibility to my side. All I wanted was to sit here, chill, have my tea every day, and talk about my dream of going to visit Mecca. I don't give a fuck to go there. I never wanted to go there. Now you have literally put me in a position where I have to accept that if I don't go there, it's because I never wanted to go there. And I'm standing here looking at you. Before, I always had excuses. I never had money. I never had time. I can't leave the place unattended. I can't afford to travel that long because who will take care of things for me? And all these are excuses we always tend to tell ourselves, right? When this kid came, and in order to pursue his own money, the kid basically built the empire, the mini empire, around that shop and looked at the guy straight in the face. He goes like, "You don't have to say all your reasons to not go to Mecca before are not valid anymore." And the guy looks him straight in the face. There were never reasons, there were excuses. I don't want to actually go. All I want is to talk about my dream to people. My dream is never to actually go there. My dream has always been to talk about my dream to people. And so I write it down. The difference between talking about your dream and actually like, I don't want to say following your dream, but listening to your dream. Listening to your dream. Listening to your dream. And the reason I'm saying listening is because I separated it earlier. Like my dream told me to go there, whilst the other guy's dream is to go there. Like my dream is not really to do anything, but my dream is telling me to do stuff. Because of the vision I have in my head and the things that I'm trying to like actually approach, the things that I'm trying to like go towards and actually like point at are literally the things are literally creating this vision in my head where when I close my eyes, when I dream, my dreams are telling me to do stuff. They're not telling me to be anything. They're not telling me to go. They're telling me to do things, but they're not telling me to do that thing that is my dream. They're telling me to do things. Like my actual dream is completely different than what my dreams tell me to do. And so listening to your dream is, I think, the most important thing when it comes to the actual like process of understanding what you want to do. Because the dream itself is not really something that has any form of value because it's in your imagination. And if you're just pursuing the dream, then ultimately you're always going to be stuck in your imagination. But if you're listening to your dream, then you're slowly translating pieces of it into reality. Wow. Well, this is a bit intense. This is a bit intense. I'm glad I did this. bits and pieces of reality eventually build up to the actual dream that you had. And that's basically the exchange that you do, the negotiation you do within your future, because your dream is in a future position, in a different state of time and space, in a different dimension. And what you're effectively doing is being true to that point in time. And because you're listening to it, you're seeking guidance from something that's already there instead of making decisions right now that are biased towards who you are right now and the position that you are right now. And by doing that, ultimately, what you do is inch by inch, step by step, you restructure your entire reality to fit that dream, to become that dream. Then I don't have to go anywhere. Ultimately, the dream becomes my surroundings, me. Always fun to think about, I'm not gonna lie, man. But whoever wanted to listen